Carrie St. Louis is back on the boards playing everyone's favorite blonde, Glinda, in the Broadway smash Wicked. We're here at Citizen M Times Square to get to know this charming star. Hey, Carrie.
Hello,
How you
Paul.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We're at the Cloud Bar.
Yes,
This is called
we
the Cloud
are.
Bar. We're at Citizen M. It's right across the street from Wicked.
Yeah.
This is just like a Wicked stop.
It's
Do you ever
a
come
wicked
here?
spot. We
Yeah, it's
do
a fun
love it.
little-
I shouldn't give up that secret, but we do love it here. It's
Yeah?
so beautiful. I mean, there's a view of all of Times Square and the
So
Hudson,
nice.
so it's definitely
And you're like
beautiful.
you're above the world.
Yeah.
And you know what? And in a way, just starring in Wicked makes you feel kind of above the world, doesn't it?
In a way, yes.
I mean, come on. This is like, isn't like starring in Wicked on Broadway like the top Broadway job? I'm sorry,
yeah,
but it is.
it's such a dream. Sometimes I have pinch me moments every day, but I still can't believe that I'm playing Glinda on
You're
Broadway
Glinda.
in Wicked. Like, what is happening?
You're an icon. You're a musical theater icon. You're part of the history of Wicked.
Stop.
That's huge. Are you kidding me? So how is that, Glinda girl? How is your alter ego?
She's great.
Yes.
I absolutely adore playing her. I've loved the show, obviously, since I was 15, 16. I
Okay,
saw Megan
yeah.
Hilty.
Oh, you did.
In
that's your
Los
first
Angeles.
Glinda.
That was my
Okay.
first Glinda.
Okay.
And then, actually, when I booked the tour, they were waiting for my shoes to come in, my custom shoes. So I wore Megan Hilty's popular shoes
Oh,
for my
my
first
God.
month in the show.
Wow.
So it felt like a very full circle sort of moment.
Have you met Megan?
I have not met her. No. I
haven't
know.
met Megan. Well,
Come on, Megan.
we-
Come visit
She
Wicked
needs-
again.
She needs to know. So your feet are the same size.
We have the same
So we know
size
that.
foot.
We know
Yes,
that. You
so
and Megan have the
there's a
exact
lot of
same
real.
size feet. It's good to know.
Very important. Yes.
You are phenomenal in the show.
Thank you so
I
much.
came to see you and Rachel Tucker.
Yes.
And oh my God, you're both so wonderful.
It's so
And what I
fun
love
working
about
with
it,
her.
I really love how you each are doing like a really fresh thing on the. I love that you can still see Wicked and feel
Yes.
like an actor can bring their own sort of thing to the show.
That's true. I come out of the stage door a lot and people say, wow, I've never seen that take on the role before. And I'm honestly just playing myself. I mean, it's just, there's so many parallels
take is
with
just
Glinda
you?
in my life. Yeah, it's just me. I'm not even acting. No, but it's just, it's great that they allow us to play and allow
Yeah.
us to find our own character within the character, especially in such a long running show.
Right, yeah.
I just feel very lucky to be able to have my own take on it. And they let us know when we've gone too far or whatnot. But also working opposite someone like Rachel, who's just couldn't be more different, but just such a wonderful human being, and so wonderful to work with her and
Yeah. So what
share
about
the stage with her.
What about creating? And you did it on the road. So you've had how many alphabets have you played against?
I've
Do you
now, well, as of this past week, now I think 8 or 9.
know? Wow.
Yeah, and they're all different, which
Yeah.
and it changes my Glinda every time because
Yeah.
when you're working opposite someone. So it's been an interesting journey and roller coaster through learning the character and finding myself in her.
So how do you click with a different? You know what I mean? Like especially like Rachel, you knew that you were coming in for a
Right.
run with her. So how do you do? Is it important to like build the chemistry and backstage to
Yeah,
have?
I think so. I mean, in my first week here, she actually invited me out for a drink, which I thought was really fun. She said, let's go get a wee tipple. That's what they call it, a wee tipple. So we went out for a drink, and I think it is very important to establish that relationship, especially in a show about friendship, about
Yeah.
two women. The women's friendship is
Yeah.
it's so important, and I do find that it helps the character certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But also when I go on with someone who I've never done it with before,
Right.
there's something so fresh and exciting about that as well. So it's a little bit of both. It's definitely a journey.
You're so mean. You're so mean at first.
I'm not
come on,
mean at
Glinda.
first. I'm misunderstood. I'm naive, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think that she's mean. I think she just doesn't know better.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then I think as it goes on, they find that the differences in each other build each other up in a way.
Right.
So I don't
As
know. Mm-hmm.
a big fan of this show in the 80s, I feel like it's basically just Blair and Joe on Facts of Life. Kind of. Right?
Kind of. I can
Right?
see
mean,
that. I can
yeah,
see that,
yeah,
yes.
Kind of. You're Blair.
I'm Blair Duff.
So when you found out you were going to get to do it on Broadway, that must have been
Yes.
exciting.
Yes.
You did it on the road for how long?
I did it for a year in total on the road.
And you
yes.
you went to the road directly after playing Sherry
Yes.
in
They
Rock of
completely
Ages.
overlapped, so it was brief. I did rehearsals for Wicked during the day, Rock of Ages at night, and then packed up all my stuff on Sunday and moved out to the tour on Monday. So it was kind of a
Wow.
whirlwind of sorts, but
But when you take the tour, that doesn't necessarily guarantee you a spot on Broadway.
no. I
Yeah.
mean, we had the creatives come out every month and they work with you, which is great. And so I sort of had an idea that it was maybe going to happen, but definitely the day it happened, I, cried and called my parents. And
So who tells you? Your agent told you, or how do you find out?
Yeah, my agent and my manager called
and then
together.
You just lose it. You lose your mind.
Yeah, sort of. But I couldn't tell anyone on tour because it was still a big secret until it was announced, which it was announced once I was still already in rehearsals, how that works.
Right.
So I took my dog for a really long walk because I was living with a bunch of cast members at the time. And I just called my parents. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't be in the house. I can't tell anybody, but this is happening.
Your dog is like, what is wrong with her?
He doesn't care. He has no idea.
You told me you took your dog on tour with you.
I did,
How
yes.
was that?
He was great.
Who's your dog? Tell me about your dog.
Okay, and my dog, his name is Beauregard.
Good name. Like Humphrey?
Yes.
Is that what?
We say like Gustav Beauregard. This is so dorky.
Okay.
We call him Bobo though, and he's a miniature German Spitz, and he came on the road with me, and it was so nice to have a feeling of home, everywhere I went, and he's just so adapted. He walks into elevators now, and he's a total city dog. So
worldly.
Yeah,
that dog.
so worldly.
You're a West Coast girl.
I
You
am a
actually
West
grew up
Coast
in
girl.
my favorite place in the world, the California desert.
The California desert.
Right?
And now here I am in New York City.
Now you're in and the summer here is so much more humid than it is there,
I know,
right?
I know.
'Cause in the California desert, it can be like 110 degrees.
But it doesn't feel too hot in a way.
And here it's like 80 and disgusting.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But you're on Broadway.
But I'm on Broadway,
But you're
so
Glinda on Broadway.
It's okay, it's all right.
So get over it.
No complaining here.
And you were a little like Annie girl, weren't you? You were like one of those. You were a little child actress.
Annie, I was. We had a great community theater company that I did all of the shows all the way up until I was about 15 years old. So Annie was my first big role. There were 3 of us. We were triple cast.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Well, I think with kids they have to do
give
that.
Everyone they didn't want to choose one, or is that?
Maybe to give more opportunities, but also because it's like Matildas. There's a bunch of Matildas, right? So I mean, it wasn't a full-time professional job. It was just on the weekends.
What's your favorite moment in Wicked right now?
It changes all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I always love Ozdust. When they dance together, I just think that is so beautiful.
Is the dance exactly the same? It's like
the dance is the same, but every Elphaba does it differently. For me to sort of imitate the initial dance that she does.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love finding that moment with every Elphaba, and I think it's so special because it's so quiet. And Wicked's such a huge spectacle, but then they strip everything down to that one moment where they're just standing on the stage, 2 people figuring it out together, which I love. And I love the final bubble for Glinda.
Final bubble.
I think it's just so incredible how it wraps up the whole show. And
I guess you don't have a fear of heights.
No.
Because the bubble, which
the
is
bubble
actually
goes
a
pretty
huge
high.
steel object. It's
Yes,
not a bubble. It's a huge steel object. It's not scary. You start the show in it.
No.
I know you're hooked in, but
I'm hooked in. It goes pretty high. It goes higher on Broadway than it does on tour, actually.
Wow.
So the first time they put me in, day 1 of my rehearsals on Broadway, I thought maybe I'd get a tour of the theater, and they'd sort of say, meet everyone. No. I got there, and within 5 minutes, I was in the bubble, and they're like starting from the top, and my stomach kind of lurched a little bit, but I love it now. It's the best entrance in the world.
Yeah, I know. And you're looking out. Can you see the audience?
Sorta. It's a little dark, but it's it's just so cool.
Do you still get choked up, for good and
Oh
all that?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm in
Every
the
night.
audience sobbing.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
It's such a great story. It's such a great show. I just feel so lucky to be in it. I'm
Yeah.
gushing, but I love Wicked. I'm a Wicked super
I think
fan.
Wicked is lucky that they found you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because you're really
Thank
wonderful
you.
in the show.
I appreciate that.
And you're at the Gershwin Theater.
I'm at the Gershwin Theater.
Come on, it's like the best theater on Broadway.
Yeah.
You are in the clouds. You're in the Broadway clouds.
Yeah.
At the Cloud Bar.
Yeah.
That's a good wrap up.
That's a great wrap up. That's for our sponsor.
Thank you so much for
you for
coming
having
and
me.
saying hi.
This is fun.
And,
We should do this
everyone,
again.
Check out Carrie St. Louis in the big steel bubble at the Gershwin Theater in Wicked.